My name is Amber Burke. I am from Queensland, Australia, and I'm a freediver. I began freediving in 2011, but since then there's been a lot of unknowns that I've had to overcome. I've always held my breath for as long as I can remember. As a kid, I was always holding my breath. It was kind of my party trick. My parents didn't really know what to do with that. So eventually they signed me up for the local synchronized swimming club. In high school, I made the Australian synchronized swimming team and I competed for Australia as a synchronized swimmer. And I actually injured my hip quite badly. I tore the labral in my hip, which is a part of the hip that doesn't actually heal itself. So it's a permanent injury. That was kind of the end of my synchronized swimming career. And for a couple of years after that, I didn't do much sport at all. And I think I was a bit lost. I didn't really know what to do with myself. So I planned this great backpacking trip to Egypt. I went to Cairo first and I did all the touristy things. I went to the pyramids, but then I ended up in Dahab, which is a small town by the Red Sea. And I'd heard that it had beautiful snorkeling and great reefs. But what I didn't know was that Dahab is home to the Blue Hole, which is this 90-meter deep blue hole that descends straight into the ocean right by the shore. So I had a few days to spare, and I was fascinated by this sport called freediving that I've never heard of before. And I ended up signing myself up to a beginner's course. I had no idea what it was, but I figured it had something to do with holding your breath and something to do with being underwater, which are two things I've always loved doing. As expected, I was quite good at the breath holding part, but equalizing my ears was a whole nother story. And on this course, I had the same issue. On the first day, I could not dive past 3 meters. And it was quite disappointing because here I'd found this sport that I thought was made for me, and then I couldn't dive. So I was ready to give up at that point. I was like, oh, well, freediving's not for me. But then my instructor taught me a more advanced equalization technique called the Frenzel equalization technique. And the next day I dove to 20 meters. And that was just something that I didn't know people were capable of. There was suddenly this whole new world just waiting to be discovered, and I just couldn't wait to explore it. For a long time, I had my eye on the women's no-fins national record. Since I started freediving, it was 52 meters, and that was my dream for many, many years, was to achieve that goal. And on my first attempt, I got so close. I got to 48 meters. And then finally in 2015, I broke that record, and to finally achieve something that I'd been working on for so many years, it was a really awesome experience and an awesome feeling. I think freedivers, we are competitive as individuals, but I think maybe we compete more against ourselves than we do against each other. Working on and eventually achieving these goals in freediving has definitely helped me with my confidence in my life outside of freediving. I know that I can set a goal of diving 73 meters and achieve that goal. So that really helps me in other parts of my life, knowing that if I work hard enough, I will eventually get there. And just learning how to be in the moment and to face any doubts I might have in my mind has been really important. My advice for anyone facing their own unknowns is to find something you're passionate about, work hard at it, don't give up, and surround yourself with like-minded, supportive people who are going to challenge you and help you reach your full potential.